Next. So now we are discussing about the undisclosed income related sources. What are the sections, ma? Section 68 to 69D. In these sections, we can decide that as an undisclosed sources of income. If any income is identified under this section, so that is required to be taxed under section 115 BBE at the rate of 78%. 115 BBE at the rate of what, ma? 78%. Now, yes, sir. How many sections are already over in this, sir? Yes, sir. 68 over, 69 over, 69A, 69B. Now we are required to discuss 69C. What is the section we are required to discuss, ma? Section 69C. Yes. Give the heading, ma. Fifth one. Please give the heading. Fifth one. What is that heading, ma? Unexplained expenditure. Fifth one. Please give section 69B. Sorry. Section 69C. What is that, ma? Unexplained expenditure. Yes, section 69C, unexplained expenditure. So normally, if any SSC incurred some expenditure, maybe for the purpose of any function, ceremony or event or any investment purposes, if he expended any amount, so now definitely who will ask the information, ma? Yes, who will ask the information, ma? AO. During previous year, during previous year, yes sir, who incurred the expenditure, ma? SSC. SSC incurred any expenditure. SSC incurred any expenditure. SSC incurred any expenditure. Now, so now AO will ask the explanation regarding how you are earning that amount for incurring that expenditure. Yes, who will ask the explanation, ma? AO. AO will ask the explanation regarding that what, ma? Nature and the source of such expenditure. Nature and source of such expenditure. Yes. Now you can say simply, sir, I have an salary income. From my salary income only, I incurred this amount. Or with the help of salary amount, I purchased one capital asset. That capital asset worth increased, sir. With the help of that increasing amount only, now I am incurring this expenditure. So you can give explanation. So no explanation, my first case. Not at all. You are given any explanation. Okay. Second point, ma. You give an explanation, but that is not satisfied by the above. Explanation given. Yes. But not satisfied by the, but not satisfied by Uma Evo. So now, what we can treat, ma? Whatever that expenditure you are incurred, that expended amount is treated as deemed income. That is an undisclosed income. So I will give you few examples regarding this. Right? Former Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Jayalalitha. So for her relatives' marriage, she incurred nearly crores of money, as well as she given the silver plates as a gift to that who are attended for the marriage. Okay, after the conclusion of function, so simply assessing officers are approached Jayalalitha, asked explanations. Okay, end result nothing but due to these sections only, she lost her position of chief minister also. Definitely they will approach her. For example, I will say, sir, in last 20 years, you are doing a job. In every year at return of incomes, you declared some amount of income that is an altogether 5 crores only. During last 20 years, you are disclosing only how much amount in your return of income? 5 crores. But your daughter marriage or children marriage, you are expended the 100 crores. So definitely they will approach you regarding whatever that expenditure you are incurred, and they will ask an explanation regarding that. If you are saying proper explanation, if they are satisfied, okay. If they are not satisfied with your explanation, if you are not given any explanation, then what is that conclusion, ma? Then, then what is that conclusion? That expenditure so incurred, then expenditure, yes sir, expenditure or part. Why I am mentioning here part, ma? Some amount of an expenditure related, you are saying explanation. Example, yes sir, how much amount you are expended, ma? 100 crore in our example. But how much expenditure related explanation you can give? 5 crore, because in the return of income, you disclosed only 5 crore. Now, 95 crores is an undisclosed income, or part thereof shall be treated as uh, shall be treated as undisclosed income. Shall be treated as undisclosed income. Now, last section, important also. What is that? 69D. Yes. 69D. What is the 69D heading, ma? Amount borrowed or repaid on the basis of what, ma? Hundi. Okay. Now we need to discuss about the, what do you mean by the Hundi? Any idea? Amount borrowed or repaid on the basis of Hundi. Hundi means nothing but traditional negotiable instrument. So nowadays we have an negotiable instruments like check, etc., promissory note, etc. Traditional negotiable instrument only called as Hundi. Now this is not at all useful and not in existence also, and there is no legal validity also for this. Similarly, like an promissory note. Shall we take examples, ma? Mr. A and Mr. B. We are nothing but here our SSC is nothing but Mr. B. So Mr. B is saying that He's taken the 10 lakh loan from whom? Mr. A. On what basis? Hundi basis. On Hundi. Means nothing but, yes, what is the document he given as an surety or security? The Hundi. You can Google it and you can got that format of that Hundi also. Not required to Google it also, not useful for you. Now, how he received the amount? Yes, sir. This amount is received from Mr. A other than, yes, sir, other than account to pay check. Other than what? Account to pay check. Now, there is an something doubtful in this transaction. We are receiving the amount on Hundi basis, but how we are receiving electronically, other than electronically, other than electronically. So there is no transparency in this transaction. Okay, now we are borrowed. We are borrowed now this 10 lakh as an loan. But remember how you received. If through the bank account also we can accept it. Here you are not at all received through the bank account. Now simply in the hands of Mr. B, it is treated as what? Undisclosed amount. Sir, why, sir? Genuinely, if you borrowed, yes, please go with the normal negotiable instrument basis, or you can receive in that what? Electronic modes. So that means it is a fictitious transaction. You are not at all borrowed anything, but you are showing as an borrowing only in your hands. And consequently, you are giving the help to that other person to reduce his income. So that's why simply whatever that amount borrowed, yes, now that borrowed amount, now we can treat as an what? Amount borrowed treated as undisclosed income. Amount borrowed shall be treated as what? Undisclosed income. There is an extension of this provision again. I will tell you how they are extended this provision. Now, he will do the repayment also. Consequently, what he will do? He will start the repayment of this loan. Generally, it is not a borrowing. Okay. We are treated it as an undisclosed income. That's okay. It's over. But remember, we are starting the repayment. Repayment of loan along with the what? Principal and the what? Interest. For one fictitious loan, simply now you are doing that what? Interest repayment along with the what? Principal also. Now, how you are repaid? Here also, other than account to pay check. Other than account to pay check. If you are doing these things in an account to pay check, that's okay. Genuine transactions, and no need to apply the deemed income provision. Deemed income means nothing but undisclosed income provisions. Remember, here also we can treat that amount so repaid. Amount so repaid. Amount borrowed, here amount what? Repaid. Shall be treated as what? Undisclosed income. Now, There is one provision here, undisclosed income. There is one provision here, remember. Sir, at the time of borrowing, you are treating 10 lakh as an undisclosed income. Okay. At the time of repayment, can you tell me? Principal, we can do repayment of 10 lakh. Interest maybe 12 lakh. Entire amount again I need to treat a? No. At any one stage, if you are applied the undisclosed income provisions, that's enough. No need to treat both the times. At the time of borrowing and at the time of repayment, both the times no need to treat that as an undisclosed income. At one time if you are treated also, that's okay. Sir, why they are given the conjunction as an arm? In order to avoid the double taxation. So if both the times that is treated as deemed, undisclosed income, means on that we are required to pay the tax at the rate of 78%. Remember one more thing, other than account to payee check. If these things are done in an account to payee check or electronic modes, so then no need to apply the provisions of undisclosed income. Yes, sir. And I can say no need to refer these in-depth way, ma. If you remember these headings and the concept, that's enough. What is the section number here? Okay. So from first to last, please refer the whatever the sections we are discussed till now, ma. So almost, not almost, ma, 100% first chapter over. Dana? Shall we start new chapter, ma? What is the new chapter name? Return of income. So first MCQs also I need to discuss with respect to the first chapter, but after completion of second chapter, combinedly we can discuss. What is that heading, ma? Return of income. So already we discussed this chapter in our intermediate level, discussed given as an choice. Okay, no problem. Here also you can give choice, okay, but from past list also they will give you as an choice. So first point. So just introduction we can discuss first, ma. Basic introduction we can start. Yes, we can start with an A point, basic introduction. What is that basic introduction I am starting, ma? General rule or golden rule. You know already what is a general rule or golden rule. Yes, with that only I want to start this chapter. What is the general rule or golden rule? Income earned during the previous year. Okay. For our examination, what is the previous year? 25, 26. What is the previous year, ma? 25, 26. Starting date and ending date, can you tell me? 1st April 2025. Last date 31st March 2026. Next, ma? Assessment year. Assessment year means nothing but what, ma? Immediately succeeding financial year. Okay. Assessment year here 26, 27. Starting date and ending date 1/4/2026, 31st March 2027. So whatever that income earned during the previous year, on that income, we are required to pay the tax in payment of tax required to be done in an assessment year. How we can pay the tax in the assessment year? Sir, why we are postponing the payment of tax to that assessment year? Because books of accounts and the ultimate profit we can know at the end of the previous year. So that's why next within the few days you can finalize your income details and you can pay the tax. How to pay the tax, sir? Orally, shall we submit the data to the department? Will they accept it? No. You have to file a statement by way of filing as a statement, by way of filing a statement. Now that statement only known as what? Return of income. By way of filing a statement, that statement only now we can call it as what? Return of income. In shortcut we can call it as an ROI. Now, sir, is there any specific due dates for the filing of return of income? Yes. Otherwise, we will file at the end of the assessment year. So that's why clearly they are given the due dates. What are the due dates, ma? 31st 7. That means 31st July. అక్క ప్లీజ్ అక్క ఇందాకటి నుండి దాంతో ఆడుతానే ఉన్నావు తీయదు చాలు 31st October. నెక్స్ట్ వన్ మా 30th November. 30th what మా నవంబర్. నిన్ను కాదన్నది నువ్వు అనుకున్నావా? సరే నువ్వు అనుకో అయితే పర్లే. నెక్స్ట్ మా సార్ దీస్ 3 dates are available. Depends upon situation, you can select the any one of these 3 due dates. Okay, in this chapter I will tell you in which cases you have to follow which due date also, but please try to remember how many due dates are available for filing of return of income. 3. Depending upon the situation, we can select the due date. Next, shall we start? Okay, you only saying that it is a statement. Okay, general format I want to tell you. So not detailed ITR forms, general format. So in ITR forms or return of income, what are the details we have to submit? I will tell you. Yes, please add the all heads of income. Income from salaries. Next one, income from house property. Next one, ma PCBP. Next one, capital gains. Next one, income from other sources. For this, we have to add clubbing provisions related income. Because of clubbing provisions income, our total income will increase or decrease? Increase. If any set of provisions are applicable, yes, please apply. Because of the set of provisions, our total income will reduce. So finally, you will get what? Gross total income. Finally, you will get what? Gross total income. Sir, if gross total income is there, how to arrive the net total income? Minus chapter 6A deductions. Yes, if you reduce the chapter 6A deductions, you will get a total income. So that only we can call it as net total income, taxable income. Yes, we can call with the other names also. But remember, what is it? total income. Simply now we can call this as an total income. Yes. From this total income amount only, we are required to calculate the tax liability. In first chapter, we know how to calculate tax liability. Huh? First one, income tax liability. First one, income tax, please calculate. For that, please add surcharge if applicable. Next, please add health and education cess. Finally, you will get what, ma? Health and education cess also, if you add it, you will get an tax liability. Do I need to pay this total amount to the department, ma? No. During the previous year itself, department will collect the two types of taxes. What are the two types of taxes? TDS, TCS. Second one, advance tax. In the previous year itself, yes, they will collect the two types of taxes. So remember, yes, you can get the credit off. You can get the credit off. First one, TDS, TCS. Second one, advance tax. Please reduce it. These two amounts, so please reduce it. Yes, if you reduce it from the tax liability, you can get the tax payable or refundable. You will get the tax payable or what, ma? Refundable. Sir, can you take some examples, ma? Yes. Yes, I will tell you case 1. Your tax liability is 5 lakh you got, including education cess, including all components in tax liability, you got 5 lakh. Yes, TDS already we paid 1 lakh. Now, this advance tax also you paid 50,000. Can you tell me now I require to pay how much amount? Yes, sir. 3,50,000 still I require to pay. Yes, in case 2. Yes, 5 lakh only the tax liability we have, but 4 lakh TDS and TCS amount I paid during the previous year, and 1,50,000 advance tax I paid during the previous year. Now, do I need to pay tax again or I can get refund, ma? Refund. How much amount? How much? 50,000 I will get it as a refund. Are you understood this? So this is only general format of the return of income, not final format, general format. So now I will discuss about the definition of return of income. Now I will discuss the definition of this return of income. Return of income is a format. Return of income is a format. Can you tell me this is a format or not? Yes. And in this, SSC will declare, SSC will declare details about, SSC will declare details about, first one, his total income. Can you tell me in this format, yes, can you identify the total income of the SSC? Yes. Not only total income, in this return of income, SSC will declare the total income and also he will declare the details about the tax payable. along with the what ma? Tax payable. Can you tell me in that beside format you can identify the SSC total income? Yes. Along with that, what is the tax payable also? Tax payable or what ma? Refundable. Refund. Next. So can you tell me this return of income is an format? Can you tell me these formats are specified or? Yes, sir. These formats are specified by whom? Huh? CBDT. Whom? CBDT. Full form of CBDT? Central Board of Direct Taxes. Now one more thing. These formats are also known as. These formats are also known as. Specified by the CBDT. And one more point. These formats are also known as ITR forms. Specified by the CBDT. And these formats also known as ITR forms. Okay, if you want to know what do you mean by the ITR, ma? Income tax return forms. Yes, sir. These formats are prescribed by the or specified by the CBDT. And the next, these formats are also known as what are ITR forms. Discussion over. This is only general introduction related to return of income chapter. Ma. Now we can go to the next points. Okay. Remember, so now I want to take the SSC. SSC having one responsibility. What is that responsibility, ma? Whatever that income he earned during the previous year, on that he required to pay the tax in assessment year by way of filing the return of income. So now I am given the one responsibility to the SSC. What is the responsibility, ma? Responsibility to file ROI under section 139. Return of income filing related section number 139. Please remember. Sir, how many types of returns are there? Yes, I will tell you. Generally, I am saying here, I haven't 10 lakh income. That is more than my basic exemption limit or not? Yes. So that's why you are required to file the return of income mandatorily. So that's why this return is called as what, ma? Mandatory return. I have an only 1 lakh income, that is less than basic exemption limit only. But I want to file the return of income. No one can stop you. You can file that return of income, no problem. That is only called as what, ma? Voluntary return. Yes. SSE have a responsibility to file the return of income, either that is a mandatory or voluntary. Now, after filing this return of income, it should be reached to whom? Assessing officer. Who is an assessing officer? Any idea? He is an one officer in the income tax department. Simply, hereafter we can call this fellow as an AO. So now, what is the responsibility of this assessing officer, ma? Huh? Verification of filed return of incomes. So who filed the return of income, ma? SSC. whether SSE filed correct things or incorrect things in that return of income, that verification should be done by the assessing officer. Now, can you tell me what is the responsibility of AO? Responsibility of AO is nothing but completion of assessment. So whatever that verification procedure is known as nothing but what ma? Assessment. Verification and assessment is a one and the same. For doing this assessment, assessing officer required to follow assessment procedures. For verification purpose, he required to follow that what ma? Assessment procedures. Just I want to introduce the few assessment procedures here itself. Section 143 subsection 1. Any idea? Summary assessment. Okay, intimation also. We can call it as on what ma? Intimation. Yes, sir. Next, processing as well as summary assessment. B. Section 143 subsection 3. What is that, ma? Scrutiny assessment. Scrutiny assessment. Just I am giving the names only. I am not at all explaining anything about that section numbers. Just I am giving the names only here. Next one, ma. Section 144. Any idea? Best judgment assessment. Now, the section 147. Yes, what is that, ma? Income escapement. Income escapement assessment. What is that, ma? Income escapement assessment procedure. So these are the different assessment procedures are there. By using these different assessment procedure, assessing officer can complete the assessment. Now this chapter we are required to read from the whose point of view, ma? SSE point of view. Next we have another chapter, assessment procedure, that we have to read from whose point of view, ma? Assessing officer point of view. What is the next chapter, ma? Assessment procedures, that we have to read from the assessing officer point of view. Sir, whenever we started any provision in the return of income, please read from whose point of view, ma? SSE point of view. Clear? Done a copy. Next. First section, ra? Section? Here I have no doubt. Huh? Saprasana. Okay, okay. నువ్వు కరెక్ట్ రాసావురా? మరి ఇంక నీకు ఎందుకురా డిస్కషను? Scrutiny assessment. Now, next, ma, very important section. From this section only mostly you can get the questions, ma. Section 139.1. So what is that point we are given as an introduction, ma? A. Now we can start the B. Section 139 subsection 1. In this section, we are going to discuss who required to file the return of income, when we are required to file the return of income. If you refer the section 139 subsection 1, you will get an answer for the two questions. Who required to file the return of income, when we are required to file the return of income. Okay, we can discuss one by one. So just I am bifurcating this total section into 4 parts. Depends upon this. Yes, sir. And you have to start within a fresh page. If more than half is there, then you can continue. Otherwise, please start within a fresh page. First point. Company, comma, or partnership firm, LLP. They are required to file the return of income mandatorily, irrespective of the profits, irrespective of the losses, irrespective of the turnover, irrespective of the size of the entity. At any cost, we have to file the what, ma? Return of income. Sir, we are not at all doing any business, sir. Just we taken registration, no problem. Please file return of income. Now, next, ma, second, other SSE. Sir, here other SSE means I will tell you. Other SSE means I will tell you. Example, individual, HUF, AOP, POI, AJP. Sir, why we are discussing separately for these fellows, ma? Any idea? సరే కూర్చో నేను కూడా కాలు బెంచ్ మీద పెట్టి చెప్తే ఎలా ఉంటుంది? These are the SSEs having the basic exemption limit. So that's why we are discussing separately for these SSEs when they are required to file the return of income. Now please check the screen. No need to write it down. Just check it out. After some time I will close these. Salaries, yes, as well as house property. Don't copy. Next, PCBP, capital gain, income from other source. Then you will get what, ma? Gross total income. From this, if you reduce the chapter 6A, you will get what, ma? Net total income or total income. Net total income or total income. Now they are saying, please take the gross total income before claiming the capital gain section 54 series exemptions. How you will get the capital gain amount, ma? Yes, first of all, they will give you gross capital gain amount. Yes, sir. Gross capital gain minus section 54 exemptions. Then you can get what, ma? Yes, sir. Then you will get what, ra? Net capital gain. Yes, sir. Remember what they are saying, ra? Please take the gross total income before claiming these exemptions under section 54 series. If your income exceeding the basic exemption limit, please file return of income. not from the total income. What we are required to take? Gross total income. Before claiming what? 54 series exemption. If exceeding the basic exemption limit. No, sir. I want to start from the total income. No problem. You can start. Now the sentence will, if started from the total income, yes, if SSC total income, before claiming the chapter 6A deductions under section 54 series exemptions, if exceeded the basic exemption limit. In our exam, they can start from the gross total income, or they can give the starting point of what? Total income. What are the two things we have to check? Before claiming 54 series exemptions, before claiming chapter 6A deductions, if your total income exceeding the basic exemption limit, you are required to file the return of income mandatorily. Now, shall we write it on that same points, ma? Yes, please write it down. If gross total income before claiming, please tell me, ma, before claiming section 54 series. How many sections are there, ma? Few are there. Example 54, 54B, 54D, 54EC, 54F, 54G, GA. Okay, H is also there, but that is not an exemption, ma. Extension of time limits for all exemption sections. Yes. 54 series what, ma? Exemptions. What is that base amount we are taken, ma? Gross total income before claiming section 54 series exemptions. Now we are increasing gross total income or decreasing, ma? Increasing. Yes. If that exceeds, okay. If that exceeds basic exemption limit, now we are required to file return of income. No, sir. Can you describe in another way? Yes. Please try. If total income, if what, ma? Total income before claiming total income before claiming what? Chapter 6A deductions. Next, one more thing, ma. Section 54 series exemptions. Section 54 series exemptions. Yes, exceeds the what, ma? Basic exemption limit. Exceeds the what, ma? Basic exemption limit. What we are required to do? We are required to file return of income. Yes, sir. If you started from the total income, before claiming the two things, please check it out, the total income. That means we are increasing the total income or decreasing? Increasing. By way of adding the chapter 6A reduction as well as 54 series exemptions. Clear? Third case. This is called as a special case in our discussions only, not in ACT. Just we are calling this as a special case. For whom it will be applicable, ma? ROR. Means resident and ordinary resident. Yes, sir. Sir, generally this fellow is not required to file the return of income in any other points. Is not required to file the return of income based on any other points basis. Who is not required to file ROI based on what ma? Earlier points. Now he is required to file. What is the reason? Outside India. OBS means nothing but in our language what ma? Outside India. In outside India. Yes sir. That resident and ordinary resident. Resident and ordinary resident have one asset or one bank account. Having the one asset outside India or what ma? Having the bank account outside India. Anything also okay. Both the things are not required ma. Generally, resident and ordinary resident is not required to file the return of income by using any point. But if he having that out any asset or bank account outside India, now he need to file the return of income. Now, sir, for the asset, you may be acted as an beneficiary or what a beneficial owner. For this, yes, maybe you are a beneficiary. Yes, sir. Maybe you are an what ma? Beneficial owner. So that means a resident and ordinary resident can be acted as a beneficiary or beneficial owner for this asset. Now your doubt is, sir, what do you mean by the beneficiary? What do you mean by the beneficial owner? Shall we start? Yes. I will take the one example. Then based on this example, you can understood the what do you mean by the beneficiary and what do you mean by the beneficial owner. Okay. Now, there is one building or house property, anything that is situated in USA. Situated where ma? USA. Outside India or not ma? Yes. So now your father is paid the consideration for acquiring this asset. Who are paying the consideration for acquiring the asset ma? Father. But you are using that building and you are receiving the rental income. That means nothing but you are given this building for let out purposes and you only receiving the income. So that means son. So how we are receiving the income by using this property. So now what is that income we are receiving? Rental income. Can you tell me revenue receipt or capital receipt? Revenue receipt. Super. Now, who are paying the consideration for acquiring any asset? So that person can be called as beneficial owner. Who are receiving the benefits from that asset. That person is called as what ma? Beneficiary. So now remember, who required to file the return of income with respect of this property ma? Both the persons or anyone? Anyone. So that means if father filing, yes, son no need to file. If son disclosing these details in return of income, now father not required. So that's why here conjunction also we are taken as what ma? R. Are you understood what do you mean by the beneficiary and beneficial owner? Who are paying the consideration for acquiring any asset? Beneficial owner. Who are receiving the benefits? Beneficiary. Both the persons are required. Any one of the person is required to file return. Anyone. Now, then what about bank accounts? If you have an signing authority related to this bank account, What is that? Signing authority. So definitely now you are required to file the return of income. Example, I have a Swiss bank account. For that withdrawal deposits or anything also, for transfers also, I required to give my signature. Now definitely I required to file the return of income because I am resident and ordinary resident outside India. I have a bank account. For that bank account, you have a signing authority. Remember, if you have any asset outside India, you have to file. Or if you have any bank account outside India also, you are required to file return. Clear? Special case also over. Now last point, special transactions. What is that, ma? Special transaction. If these special transactions are entered by the SSC, definitely SSC required to file the return of income. Special case is different, ma. Now special transactions is different. If any special transactions you entered, definitely you are required to file the return of income. Shall we discuss what are the special transactions, ma, one by one? First, A. Deposits in. Yes, ma. Deposits in current account. Do you know anything about the current account, ma? If any person who are doing the business or profession, for that bank will give the separate account, that is an current account. If the deposits in the current account during the previous year, sir, in one account only if you have, no problem. I have 6 current accounts. All together I need to check. If you have 10 current accounts, 10 current accounts deposits during that current previous year, if it is exceed 1 CR, if it exceeds how much amount, ma? 1 CR. Now, B point. B point. Now, same as it is, we have to discuss deposits in savings account. Sir, I have 20 savings bank accounts. 20 savings bank accounts total also you have to check. During that previous year only, if it is an exceeds or equal to 50 lakh. Remember, wherever we have an exceeds or wherever we have an exceeds or equal. Deposits in current account limit over, deposits in savings accounts also over. Now see. Foreign travel expenditure. Exceeds how much, ma? 2 lakh. During the previous year, for yourself or for your family purpose, if you incur the expenditure for foreign travel, if it is exceeds or equal to how much, ma? 2 lakh. Sir, here any one of the transaction is exceeds or equal, we have to file. That's why conjunction is R. Any one. Sir, savings accounts deposits crosses 50 lakh. Now you are required to file return of income without checking this. Foreign travel expenditure over. Next D pointer. Electricity expenses. Okay. Can you tell me electricity expenditure how much, ma? Electricity expenditure during that previous year, if it is exceeds how much, ma? 1 lakh. E point. Electricity expenditure during the previous year, if it exceeds 1 lakh. Sir, your electricity expenditure exceeded 1 lakh means you are doing any production process or manufacturing. That's why we want to file, we want to get your return of income. Now, if you are doing the business, okay, if you are doing what, ma? Business related turnover, I want to check. Or if you are doing the profession, what, ma? Profession, then what I need to check, ma? Gross receipt. Business related turnover exceeds 60 lakh. Gross receipts of an profession exceeds 10 lakh. Yes, definitely you're required to file return of income. Sir, my business in loss, sir. But your turnover exceeds how much? 60 lakh. Now, my profession related gross receipt 10 lakh, sir. Gross receipt means what, ma? Sales amount or ultimate revenue. After removing all the expenditure, I have 1 lakh profit only, no problem, because your turnover or gross receipt crosses the 60 lakh or 10 lakh. So that's why you are required to file the return of income. Yes, sir. F after that, ma? G. Last point. In your hands, TDS or under TDS, TDS as well as what, ma? TCS is deducted in your hands during the previous year is more than or equal to 25,000. During the previous year, from my salary or from anything, my payer is deducting the 25,000 or more. Now definitely, yes, I require to file the return of income. This limit will be increased in case of senior citizen. In case of senior citizen, yes, we have to check the more than or equal to how much, ma? 50,000. So now in entire this special transaction, where we have an, yes sir, where we have an more than or equal to the deposits in savings account under TDS or TCS amount is exceeded or equal to 25,000 or 50,000. Sir, lifelong limits we have to check under, lifelong deposits and lifelong TDS amount we have to check, or during the previous year? During the previous year. If you have an multiple accounts, now I need to check aggregatedly, individual account wise, aggregatedly. Understood, right? Sir, definitely from this section, from this page only, you will get 7 or 8 mark question. Very important. So they can ask any point also or any corner also. You have to prepare. 139 subsection 1 is over. But sir, here only who are covered, ma? Company, partnership firm, LLP, individual, HUF, AOP, BOI, AJP. Then what about others? Political party, trust, many others are there. Now, when they are required to file the return of income, that is not covered in 139.1. 139.1 is talking only about these fellows. Then few other provisions are there In that other provisions, we can discuss about the remaining entities or remaining SSCs. Yes. First, section 139 subsection capital 4A is talking about the trust return of income filing. Which entity ma or which SSC? Trust. Yes. What they are saying, just we can discuss. Trust can get the exemption under section 11. In separate chapter, I will discuss my trust chapter. Trust can claim the exemption under which section ma? 11. Before claiming exemption under section 11, please check total income. Generally, total income means what ma? After claiming exemption only we can get. But for return filing purposes, what is the total income we have to check ma? Total income. Before total income before exemption under section what are 11. Exemption under section 11. Total income before claiming exemption under section 11 exceeds basic exemption limit. Now trust required to file return of income. Remember, now normally total income means after claiming exemption only. But don't give exemption. Please calculate total income. That's why total income will increase or decrease ma? Increase. So if it exceeds the basic exemption limit, now we are required to file return of income. Okay. Now what is that basic exemption limit for trust? Try just. Hey. Udrodu entra? ఎంత చెప్పాడ్రా 1 crore బట్టలోడు తీసి కొడతారా బయటికి వెళ్తే ట్రస్ట్ బేసిక్ ఎగ్జామ్షన్ లిమిట్ నార్మల్గా 1 crore ఎందుకు చెప్పావురా ఎవడని అడిగితే అంటే మీన్ నీలాగే ఎవరో ఒకరు థింక్ చేయొచ్చు అంటే ఎలా చెప్పావు 1 crore అని ర్యాండమ్గా చెప్పేసావా సరే ఎనీ వన్ రా చెప్పండి పర్లా what is the basic exemption limit for trust? Okay, you can calculate the total income before giving the exemption under section 11. But the total income we have to compare with the basic exemption limit. Then only we can know whether trust is required to file the return or not. Now, what is the basic exemption limit for trust? 4 lakhs. Okay. Okay, if trust is following 115 BAC, trust can follow 115 BAC, yeah? AJP, yes. Remember, trust is one example for AJP. What is the basic exemption limit for AJP? If they are following 115 BAC, 4 lakh. If they are following the old regime, 2,50,000. Are you understood, Ra? Now, don't ask me again. In trust chapter also students will ask, sir, what is the basic exemption limit? Here itself I am saying basic exemption limit for trust simply AJP. Now, 139, next section ma? 139 4B. Here we need to discuss about the political party. When political party is required to file return of income, ma? Same total income before claiming one exemption section. What is that exemption section number, ma? 13 capital A. Political parties can get exemption under section 13A. Yes, please write it down. Total income before. What is that before means? We are increasing the total income or decreasing? Increasing. Before claiming exemption under section S13A, yes, it exceeds. Now basic exemption limit, again same basic exemption limit like trust. Sir, these exemptions, yes, now I am just written here. These exemptions will discuss in a separate chapter. In trust chapter, I will tell you exemption 11 ma. In assessment of various entities, I will discuss exemption under section 13A. Now, next, what is the next section ma? Randomly you can start. Section 139 4C. One 4C. Who covered under section 139 4C ma? Any idea? Yes, research associations. What is that ma? Research association. Next, news agencies. News agencies. Now, institutions under section 10. So that means section 10 institution. Under section 10, if any institution is registered, yes, that all institutions are covered here. Only, yes sir, three things are there. Can you tell me three means what ma? Research associations, news agencies, institution under section 10. Simply, total income before claiming exemption under section 10 exceeds the basic exemption limit, they are required to file the return of income. Please write it down. అరే గొనగొద్దురా, వచ్చి కొట్టినా కానీ నువ్వు ఆశ్చర్యపోనవసరంలా. Done. So how many sections are over? 139 1, 4A, 4B, 4C. 4C who are covered by research association, news agencies, institution under section 10. So remaining three more sections are there. Totally 139 1 along with that 6 sections. Then only we can know about the who can file the, sorry, who required to file what ma? Return of income. Yes. Section 139 subsection 4D. Section 139 subsection 4E. All are capitals only. Section 139 subsection 4F. Now, who are covered ma? University. University is example of AJP, right? Yes, sir. Next, college. Next, institution under section 35. Do you know anything about section 35 in Income Tax Act ma? Scientific research. PGBP chapter. Okay, no problem. Now, then ma? Now can you tell me when we can file the return of income ma? Total income before claiming any exemption? No. Mandatorily they need to file. Irrespective of the total income, irrespective of the anything, yes, mandatorily they are required to file the return of income. Yes. Now 139(4)(e) is covering the business trust related entity. Yes, in assessment of various entities, I will tell you business trust. Yes, what is a business trust? All the things. Yes, business trust also required to file the return of income mandatorily. Yes, next entity 4F is covering about the investment fund. What is that, ma? Investment fund, simply mutual fund. Yes. Now, they are also required to file the return of income mandatorily. Are you understood these sections? You have to remember 4A to 4F, in which section, which entity or which SSE is covered. So as of now, we discussed the provisions relating to who required to file the return of income mandatorily. Now we can discuss about the when they are required to file the return of income. So when they are required to file the return of income means we have to know about the due dates. Yes, sir. After the completion of this due dates discussion, I will give a break. Okay, listen carefully. How many due dates are available for filing of return of income? Already we discussed how many due dates are? 3. Anyone's first one? 31st 7 of an assessment year. Second one, ma? 31st October of an assessment year. Last one, ma? 31st November. 30th November of what, ma? Assessment year. In November month only we have an 30 days. Okay. Next. Now, please read the provision from the last to first. Okay. Last due date related. Now I am talking. Generally, if any SSC entered into these two type of transactions. Okay. One is international transaction. I don't want to talk about what do you mean by the international transaction, etc. In transfer pricing chapter, I will tell you, ma. If any SSE entered into international transactions, next one, ma, specified domestic transactions. Specified domestic transactions. Any one of the transaction, if SSE entered, for that SSE, transfer pricing provisions will apply. Yes, ma. Which provisions will apply, ma? Transfer pricing provisions will applicable. Sir, what is a transfer pricing provisions and what do you mean by the international transaction? What do you mean by the specified domestic transaction? These are all the things we can discuss in one separate chapter, transfer pricing. So now in my case, for me, transfer pricing provisions are applicable. Now I require to submit the one CA report under section 92 capital E. So this is nothing but what, ma? A CA report we are required to be submit. Simply CA report or audit report we can call. If any person have an obligation to submit this report, for him due date is 30th 11 of an assessment year. So if you have an requirement to submit this report, can you tell me this report can be given by whom? CA. That report you have to forward it to the department. Then your due date will be 30th 11. It is a time taking process. So that's why given the due date 30th 11 of what ma? Assessment year. Now next one. Yes, after completion of the last, then come to middle one. Ra. Can you tell me? 30th, 31st October. This due date is for whom? Yes, first one, company. Can you tell me for whom? Ma? Company. Next, any idea? Tax audit SSCs. So for any SSC, if there is a tax audit, under section 44AB. For any entity, if there is a tax audit is applicable, for that entity's due date will be 31st October. Last one. So for partnership form, tax audit applicable. Partners also can get the due date as on what ma? 31st October. Yes, now we are talking about the partners of partnership firm whose books of accounts are subject to subject to section 44AB. Remember, now I want to explain why they are maintaining the same due date for the partnership form as well as partners. Yes, sir. A, B, C and Co. In that three partners are there. Yes, just I am given the names as an A, B, C. Randomly I am given the name. Now for them there is a tax audit. For that partnership form there is a tax audit. Now what is the due date ma? 31st October of an assessment year. Now act saying that yes, for the partners also due date will be 31st October only. Sir, in partners individual capacity there is no tax audit. In their individual capacity there is no tax audit. Even though please take the same due dates like an partnership form. What is the reason, sir? Any idea? I will say two reasons, sir. One is a very simple reason. Another one, yes, you have to understood. That simple reason may I know. Sir, I think in foundation or intermediate, you know, if books of accounts of partnership form is closed, then only we can close the books of accounts of partners. Okay. Books of accounts of partnership form is closing and we can compute the tax liability on or before this date, then we can file the return. After that only we are able to find out our profits. Our profits means here partners profit. That's why same due date they are encouraging. Previously there is a provision here, instead of partners, working partners is there. Now any partner also okay, same due dates we are required to maintain. Second reason, I know some of you will not understood this point now. After PCBP chapter only you can understood, but I will tell you. P&L account of partnership firm I want to take. Many debits and the credits will be there in this account, but now I am highlighting the two debits. What are that ma? Interest. Next one, salary. To whom ma? partners. So can you tell me, partnership form can give the interest to the partners on their capital. Second one, they can pay the what ma? Remuneration also. Because of this, can you tell me, net profit of the partnership firm will reduce or increase ma? Reduce. Can I take whatever amount I want here? No. No. What amount I have to take? Yes, sir. Limits given in section 40B. Limit given in section 40B. Okay, 40B, what is the limit on all the things? We can check it out in the PCBP chapter. No, not required. Yes, sir. Because of these deductions, net profit of the partnership firm is reduced. But these two are expenditures to whom are now? Partnership firm. But these two amounts are income to whom are? Partners. Now, I need to verify the partners PGBP head. Why, sir? Yes, if anything you are receiving from the partnership firm as an partner, these are taxable under which head of income? PGBP. Many students are interest, income from other sources, salaries head. That is not correct. You are simply doing the business by investing some amount in the partnership firm. That's why these two amounts will tax under the head PGBP in the hands of partners. Now, how many partners are there in our example? A, B. In the hands of A, B, C, these two amounts will be taxed. Sir, how much amount is taxed? Whatever that amount you are taken as a deduction, that same amount only now taxable in the hands of whom? Partners. Here, 5 lakh. How much amount we are taken as a deduction here? 5 lakh. How much net profit is reduced? 5 lakh. That same 5 lakh is taxable in the hands of all partners under the head PCBP. So remember, here what we are doing, we are increasing the net profit of that partner. So that means at the time of assessment, AO needs to verify how much amount reduced here. The same amount needs to be increased in the hands of whom? Partners. How assessing officer will verify this? If these two fellows are filing the return of income on the same due date, then cross verification is possible. He is filing on 31st 7 and the partnership firm filing on 31st October. Can I verify properly? No. So that's why, in order to know whatever that amount is allowed as deduction here, the same amount is increasing here. For cross verification purpose, department is given the same due dates for the partners whose books of accounts are subject to audit. Clear up to now? Understood at this point? Now, then last, this due date is applicable for whom? Huh? Individuals. Individual tax audit is there. This is only. Individuals are partners of the partnership firm. For partnership firm, tax audit is there. Then same due date. How you can say for individual? Any other SSC. But if you are starting from this, yes sir, if you are reading the provision from this, all are covered here only, any other SSC. Please read from the last to first. Now whom? Any other SSC. Dana. Yes sir, tomorrow we can discuss remaining. Please read this section 139.1 thoroughly. Tomorrow we have a chance to do some problems also on this. That's why please try to do. Take a break.